I mean, he wasn't playing Malphite, but
yeah.
found the solo kill on the Scion, such a menace in fights, knows exactly what he needs to do. But on the flip side, he's all play carries as well. He can kind of just do whatever the team needs him to do. Very hard to just leverage a carry to get a huge advantage. But we know Doran has had, back in the LCK Cup, back last year was having some great performances, struggling a bit to find his footing, I think, overall, so far this year. But we know what he is capable of. They have gone for first pick again, so maybe not necessarily going to get him the best matchup, but we'll see how this draft plays out. We did emphasize the importance of it going into today. Both these teams have talked about draft and champion priorities being really important, and obviously the space just talked on that too, so we'll see what comes to play there. Already seeing a bit of a shift up in terms of what is being banned with the Ashe being taken out. And one thing to take into account too is a lot of work was done in that first game with denial in terms of Fearless, because, they picked Bard. Yeah. Normally teams spend all series banning Bard away from Keria, but because Gen.G not only picked the Bard themselves and won with it, they free up that ban for the rest of the series that a lot of teams just have to pay as a carry attack. So that feels very good for sure in that regard.
Yeah, it's that easy. Just got to have a guy who can play it on your team, which Duro absolutely can. We are going to see the Rumble come out here actually from T1. So there's a lot of stuff being left up right now.
So the two big ones right now are Azir and Pantheon that were banned last time. Ezreal was also banned last time, but I don't think that's as much of an issue. Really, for me, it's Pantheon, Azir. You could just ban neither and just trade them off. Definitely an option. They banned the Azir, so is it just first pick Pantheon here for T1? It is such a powerful pick. It has been doing so well. We saw it doing really well paired with Ryze, and then they were decoupled, and it was still winning. This pick is insane. It's good early. It's good at ganking. At level 6, it gets that global pressure. It's good late. It's tanky. It does 1 million damage. It is just the jungler of all junglers.
It does everything.
The only weakness, I'd say, of Pantheon is it's not as reliable, structured engage as like a Jarvan or a Wukong. That is the only weakness this pick has. But in return, Gen.G are going to slam Yunara, and they can threaten the Lulu later. They don't necessarily have to pick it now. We'll see. They could just secure them together if they're concerned about a denial from the other side. But they could also go in a different direction and then save a Lulu for 3 if they don't want to commit to the full bot lane. Looking at the Nocturne, we've already seen KT played Lulu Nocturne. We saw an attempt by D+ last series to play Lulu Nocturne that didn't go so well. So
yeah, they did pick those champions together.
I think Gen.G are kind of gunning for a Lulu on 3. Will T1 try and deny it? Or will they just let it happen and kind of say, cool, we see what you're going for. We're just going to try and counteract it. That is the question.
I mean, from what's left in the support role, Lulu does feel good, so you could just pick. But instead, we are going to see Aurora.
Yeah, technically a flex. Kind of expecting it mid for the most part, but could go towards top if they need it to. Now, you could slam an AD carry here to match. I mean, again, you could deny the Lulu if you wanted to, but you could just take an AD carry before they sort of get banned away in the situation. But they are actually going to take that Lulu denial. So, I think this is a smart move. You deny that Lulu Yunara, you deny that Lulu Nocturne. The space talked about that priority in the Lulu. The one concern is the pairings are going to get trimmed a little bit here. Like the good Lulu pairings. There's a decent selection still available, though. Like Corki, Kalista are the ones that got taken away by Fearless. Obviously, Yunara's on the other side. Corki and Kalista aren't really good with Lulu anyway, so you're not that concerned about it. Annie Nocturne, a big threat for any AD carry that you want to protect with Lulu, but Lulu can go Mikhail's, obviously, and sort of negate that to an extent.
Still a lot of burst damage that they're going to have to deal with, and definitely can provide a nice front line of proactive engage for your Yunara to follow up on. So they do have a nice block of a composition so far.
Gen.G recently lost to Cogmore Lulu at an international tournament. I don't know if you remember that one.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll get rid of that
shot.
one. Civ is a good one. I wonder if the Cogmore is on their minds, though. That is my question.
Nah.
We'll see. We'll see. The Nautilus ban comes in. Zeri is another one. We know Peyz definitely a big Zeri player. Something he was very formidable on when he debuted in the LCK, playing for Gen.G.
Yeah.
So we'll see if that ends up getting a look in. Obviously, he has the mobility as well to slide away from like the Nocturne ults in. You just slide over terrain. You can just sit next to terrain.
Oh no!
There's the Cogmore. Yeah. G2 living rent free.
No,
it's a good ban. It's a good ban, right? Cog Lulu's the classic.
It just hurts.
Thinking back to those sad times. But hey, we're learning. We're learning from the defeat at the hands of EU.
One small ban at a time.
Yeah.
We're very reluctant to change over here and resistant to it as well. Yorick.
So in this situation, you could just take support without fully knowing the bot matchup. But if you're really concerned about the bot 2v2, you could just blind top lane for Kiin here. I think going support here gives a lot more strength to Kiin. Last draft, they didn't put,
Neeko Nocturne.
Yeah, Neeko Nocturne's really strong.
Oh,
this is a lot of bot lane threat already. I think here you want to try and get an AD carry who has some semblance of safety. Zeri has like the dash over the wall at least. So
it's got to be Zeri.
I think so.
It has.
You can just play near a wall, have the prospect of dashing. Galio AD carry is safe. It's safe, but
yeah, you go in, you get the wild growth, right?
You know, honestly, if I'm thinking the AD carries that are difficult to kill, I think Galio's probably up there.
Okay.
Obviously, Galio mid. That does mean it's going to be that Aurora top. And it adds like another layer of protection for the AD carry.
Are we really playing Draven here?
No, it's not Draven.
You're not playing Draven.
It's probably going to be... I expect it to be the Zeri. I think the dash over the wall, you play near a wall, you can dash away if the Nocturne comes in. And it is the hyper carry element. I think it's the one that makes the most sense. You have the extra threat of the Aurora. The Pantheon has good damage output. You've got good protection. Yes, Zeri is the hyper carry here, but I think it works. And for the side of Gen.G, the Ambessa, a little awkward into the Aurora. We've actually seen Kiin do well in this matchup, surprisingly. But it's not the most fun playing Ambessa into Aurora. But I remember him playing this matchup and doing well.
And if you get through lane, it goes so well with the comp.
Yeah.
Right? You just go in on whatever target Annie's or Neeko's attacking, and you just blow someone up. But just try to get through lane.
I think both teams have very thematically fitting compositions for what they want to do, right? I think both teams have clear objectives. I do think one big advantage that T1 has is like the Galio into Annie, super just durable in that matchup. Easy to set up ganks as well. The Aurora into Ambessa should be a fun time early. And also...
Oh,
he got banned. He's devastated.
Yeah. Our fellow LEC member here on the LCK broadcast. Thank you for the idea, Wadid.
Yeah, reminded them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think ultimately, T1 with the extra global pressure from the mid jungle, I think they have the edge in this draft, but there's a lot of engaged threats that Peyz has to deal with, so we'll see if he can keep up with them when we get to the late game.
And here we go, game number 2. I would agree with you. You know, I think if we didn't watch game number 1, if this were game number 1, and for some reason we had these compositions for a Fearless game number 1, I would be on the same page. And composition-wise, I still am. I do think that Gen.G, though, after a confident win like game number 1, if you get one teamfight win, I can't see them losing with this composition. And again,
You know what?
this comp is very strong from ahead.
I think it's having a rough time so far in this lane. Not having a fun time. I remember it was Kiin played Ambessa into Aurora at first stand, into Lion, into Dokla, and went 8-2 and 5. And I remember that because I expected him to have a rough time in the lane, and he just didn't.
I mean,
he did have a rough time early, but then he found
What I will say is Doran didn't have a great game 1, but I still would favor him against Dokla. Let's just say that.
You favor him with a big Dokes?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I would.
Okay, well, Canyon steals away a camp there, so that's nice. Yeah, so Galio will get to a point where he can kind of just weather the storm against the Annie. Early levels, not so fun. Getting that W shield definitely helps you soak up the matchup, and some MR behind you will go a long way.
It's very funny.
Not having a fun time. It's not fun for Oner.
Nocturne is not necessarily an invading jungler, but our pro teams are very good at understanding priority and utilizing pressure. I mean, bot lane's winning, mid lane is hard winning, and Canyon's like, okay, you can take your wolves. I'm taking your raptors. That's my jungle.
Yeah.
You don't get a jungle.
Leveraging this mid priority very effectively, and Oner's only level 2. I mean, Canyon is as well, but he should be able to pick up this camp, but this might...
Pretty close.
Oh, he actually doesn't hit level 3, doesn't get enough of the chickens.
Yeah. I mean, he's still got a massive health lead. And no... There's no chance that Faker can come over here.
Oner's smite comes up first, though. So Canyon can't really stick around because he won't do the red fast enough. And Oner would be able to smite it first and get level 3, so he's just going to back away.
Okay. Well, Electrocute's going to help out Doran here.
A little dangerous.
And a big wave as well. Kiin
little
is
scary.
Taking a little damage.
You know, I saw a similar thing happen to Big Dogs.
Yeah.
So...
he definitely has a much cooler nickname than Doran.
I mean...
I'll give him that.
It is a great name.
Yeah.
But also Doran, you know, he's the guy who stocks all the items. Do you think he gets royalties every time someone buys a Doran's item?
Yeah. I think that's definitely the way that works. Oh! Wow.
That was close.
This is so annoying for Oner. Like, you're playing Pantheon. You're supposed to be the guy that makes plays, not gets play made on.
Faker is very low.
Yeah, Faker might just have to flash away. Instead, he gets flashed on! And an auto! And one more from Keria gets it done, as now, actually Duro, rather, gets it done. And yes, Chovy will go down, but this is a massive win for Gen.G as Peyz is super low! And Duro picks up another one. As you see, that ruler does make his way up a little bit late.
So
and we have a 3-kill Neeko.
This was a very weird passage of play. And you know, it's kind of hard to decipher because on the one hand, Gen.G got more kills, but they all went to Duro, and we got a 2-kill Zeri. So surface level,
I'm Team Neeko.
This didn't pan out super well because Faker kind of didn't get much value from his abilities. Oner had to flash out. Faker clipped Chovy there and then had to flash away and just died. Duro got the kill. Then Duro gets another kill here, gets a triple proc on the Q bounce. Also gets the root here. But Peyz managed to get 2 kills. I mean, if Duro had got 4 kills there, that would have been hilarious. Let's look at the damage. So, Hextech Alternator already for Duro. He's going to have
He got the root on it. Keria, look at the damage.
He's going to have a super early Rocket Belt, which is kind of huge. Very accelerated.
You know, Neeko used to be played in the mid lane and build AP.
But look at what Peyz came back to lane with. A BF sword. So...
I'm Team Duro.
Okay. We'll see.
But yeah, a little bit of a... I don't know. Should we consult the expert on, like... Do we stamp this one for Zeri? Like, it being 2 and 1, but, like, your team got very far behind? I really don't know. This is kind of up in the air.
I think the takeaways from this is mid is super far ahead for Gen.G.
Wolf is absent.
Jungle is ahead a little bit, you know. Canyon is ahead in XP, ahead in farm. So even though we're talking about this mid-jungle with the global pressure from T1, they haven't really found a way to leverage that yet.
All right, not a Zeri moment.
Not a Zeri, not certified. Oh.
Does not count.
Kiin has ult and flash. What can he do with this?
He's going to have to do something. Wants to clear the wave first, ult backwards. They're waiting for it, and he just flashes away. He's like, yeah, you don't have yours.
Pretty slick, buys the time. And this means Gen.G going to be able to get first dragon of the game. And last game, they just high rolled.
Did you see that spacing? Chovy just barely
avoids the knockup. Yeah. Last game, they just high rolled. It was Hextech, Mountain, and then they got Infernal Soul. This time, the first is Ocean. And Ocean, you know, you get that sustain in lane, but it means it's not an Ocean Soul, so that feels nice. So getting an early dragon, very, very positive.
Oh, man.
Faker is not having a good time in this lane.
All Magic Mantle is doing some heavy lifting, and it's not
he also
lifting that much, actually.
Went an early Amp Tome. I thought he'd be going like the MR first item build. You know, people normally go, what's it called? Hallowed Radiance, yeah.
Radiance, yeah.
Or even just like, you know, early Merc Treads would go a long way in this matchup. Yeah, he is struggling.
I mean, eventually he can press his R button on the Peyz, but for the meantime, he doesn't do anything, you know? Now he's got Merc Treads.
Maybe he's going for the Rocket Belt.
We do see that there's a big lead, not only in mid, but also in jungle.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest lead's in support.
Well, that was specifically CS per minute, but
we
do have a very big gold lead there as well.
And Canyon's level 6 already, so has that ult available. I mean, Oner is too. Want to see where these globals can get use. I think T1's still doing okay here.
All right, Peyz wants to go for it, and
great disengage.
See, I'm Team Duro. Look at the damage difference.
Yeah, that was a great slip. And he's gonna have Rocket Belt pretty soon.
Yeah, and they're trying to steal some grubs here. Canyon in a little bit of trouble, as a little bit means he's dead. The Galio ultimate does come out, but Kiin is running rampant on that backline. Chovy still here, looking for another stun. He's able to lock up Faker, the public execution, and that should be the end of him with no flash on Faker. 2 kills for 1 in favor of Gen.G. And even Kiin is going to take a bit of damage on the backside of that.
Just run out of gas in the tank in that one. Oner goes down, but Faker just really not that much of a threat. The magic damage shield as well that came through on Oner. I mean, Kiin kills him. Obviously doesn't really care about that. So it's not really a factor. We'll see the replay. So a lot is committed on the Canyon to shut him down. The Taunt, the knockup, the rotation from both the Aurora, and Kiin just kills the Pantheon, but without committing too many cooldowns. So they still have this stun that comes through from Chovy, the ult from Kiin, and Doran's waiting for more cooldowns to be able to do anything. A lot of the sustained damage for this T1 composition comes from their Peyz. From their Peyz? From their
Peyz.
Zeri.
Yeah.
So in these fights without the Zeri, you know, it's hard to carry the momentum through into killing multiple targets if they're sort of even in gold, or, you know, they don't get like a super clean setup. And you kind of saw that. They had to commit a lot of cooldowns to kill the Nocturne, and then they just kind of didn't have gas in the tank to carry that forward. We do have Peyz picking up the Yuntal already, but that gold lead he got from those 2 kills not really carried forward significantly. Only up 100. Meanwhile, Duro's still up 1,000 gold. Nearly has that Rocket Belt.
Faker in a lot of trouble. Gonna
calculate
okay because he is Galio.
Yeah.
But he's not in the lane again. This is nearly a 30 CS difference right now.
Is Duro going to be... Well, he's not going to be the first in the game to have a completed item, but is he going to be the first in his team to have a completed item? He could be, honestly.
I mean, Rocket Belt is OP cheap.
It is very cheap.
Can he buy it before Ruler? Oh, at the same time.
It was in sync. We need to have like a slowdown photo finish. We need a slowdown photo finish.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Ruler had it first because the little icon on the left went away very slightly ahead of Duros.
I mean, having a Rocket Belt so early as a Neeko support feels great. I know it's a cheap item, but supports, they get nothing. It's a tough life.
Yeah. Speaking of Rocket Belts, not going to be able to dodge Kiin, as now a ton of damage is already going into Doran.
Oh my god, we just had it confirmed. Kraken Slayer was fifth.
Kraken
Honestly,
was first.
if that was the answer, I'd have rather just not known. Okay, just ruin the fun.
Yeah, G-Sun. Oh, as you know. But the message was delivered by G-Sun.
No, I'm joking, by the way. We should know the truth, even if it hits.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It's better to know.
Duro not fit. He needed 4 kills. If he'd gotten that 4th kill, then he would have been first to have it completed.
He just never gets the recognition he deserves.
So true, actually.
Always taking the spotlight away from him.
Yeah.
Doran did get a minion. Or rather, Faker. I don't know why I said Doran.
So both teams set up with this dragon now. Would be first for T1. They are at a bit of a deficit. We don't have that many item spikes coming through, but a few here and there. Gen.G starting to move in and contest vision. Vision setup is going to be so important in this game. There's so many big threats, whether they're on flanks, whether they're finding good angles. There's so much engage on Gen.G to be respected, but a lot of picks that can play flanks like the Aurora. And it looks like T1 just moving over and giving up again.
Just
Second
roll
game in a
Cloud
row.
No, it's Chemtech.
Double Dragon's giving up. It's a Chemtech Soul now. There are some champions who get a decent amount of value from this on both sides, but generally a lower value soul. You know, I'm thinking like the Lulu, the healing and shield power.
Okay, we got to play down the bottom side. Ruler in a lot of trouble. Just gets flashed on and killed.
Exploded.
And finally,
that's what he gets for
Pantheon
buying.
Shows up.
That's what he gets for buying Kraken Slayer first. You know, as we saw in the picture-in-picture.
Yeah.
But a good pick, good moves. Pantheon finally getting activated with that ultimate to find a play in the bot side. This is what we're kind of hoping for with those globals between the mid-jungle. Obviously just the jungle there.
Oh, he finds it again. These max range hits between worlds comes through. But Kiin, he has Hex Drinker and he just doesn't care about Aurora anymore.
He just keeps trading aggressively and not giving Doran a chance to whittle him down by just ulting him and chunking him first. Yeah. Again, this is what he did to Big Dokes, you know. And if Big Dokes can't handle it, then, I mean, who can?
Well, apparently not Doran.
So we'll see the replay. This was just a cheeky trap.
Hide on bush.
Flash polymorph into the flash stun. So a lot of summoners actually ended up being invested there to make the play happen. But it does ensure it's successful. And Kiin getting some gold there, some plate access.
I mean, everything considered, T1 not in the best spot in this game, but at least it feels a little closer than game 1.
He just feels so squishy.
There's going Rocket Belt next, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's a good item on Galio, right? I think
he was always a guy that went for the AP style more often than not.
I just think he needs the upgraded Merc Treads, if I'm being honest. It really helps those trades. He's nearly got his quest finished. He's...
It looks like it's finished.
Now.
No, obviously it was...
Oh, yeah, called it.
You were a little bit early, okay? You're kind of rushing. You're rushing a little bit.
Or was I dragging?
Definitely rushing.
Okay.
You know, I watched a video where a guy did a breakdown at every single attempt and whether he was rushing or dragging.
Really?
And the amount of like beats on a metronome that he was rushing or dragging. I think he was rushing on every single attempt actually.
Really?
So yeah, he was actually just messing with him the whole time so that he could throw the chair.
Yeah, I did get that impression.
Yeah. Such a great movie.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that again, actually. My annual rewatch.
The movie is Whiplash, for people who are wondering. Brendan was just vague mentioning.
Yeah.
You know?
It was just vague posting on the LCK, you know?
Yeah.
That is the meta nowadays.
I hate when people do that, when they just mention around something You know, it's just for interactions, so people go in the comments and go, oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
God, it's so... That's what social media has become these days. You just...
What does he mean by this?
Be aloof about everything.
Yeah. All right, we got a Pantheon on the loose, but he's going up against a 3-0 Neeko. Gotta be careful about that, and Oner is going to not be too happy about that, although Faker does kind of save the day. And a lot of TPs being used, but keep in mind that the Rift Herald is just taken by Gen.G this entire time, so...
There was so many circles in that passage of play.
And nothing happened.
Nothing really happened. A flash burn from Chovy. That's what we got.
TP
overall.
from Doran.
Yeah. Herald for Gen.G. But ultimately not really changing the state of the game drastically. Kiin will get that plate, take a tower hit for his trouble. Oh, and a rocket belt. Daring today, aren't we?
Yeah.
Dragon up in 40 seconds will be third for Gen.G. And I think on their side, Kiin will be the main enjoyer of a Chemtech Soul. He already feels a little bit troublesome to cut through. You give him a Chemtech Soul, not going to feel too good about cutting through him. So we'll hopefully see T1 make more of a concerted effort to move towards it right now.
Yeah.
Did just see a Runan's picked up for Peyz, so he gets a second item that actually Rula doesn't have his quite completed yet.
Yeah, looks like maybe he's close.
I think he might have it in base if he sold his coal, but doesn't get a time to reset. Kiin, though, he's just... I
mean, you could just give away the Drake.
Yeah,
and
honestly.
give Kiin a big sack of gold. I think I would take that trade, especially if I were Kiin.
Honestly, he could recall after this tower and then TP in. I think it's too late, probably.
Herald is
he's going.
Yeah, they're just going to press their buttons as the Smite Steal comes in! And they're also going to kill the Pantheon. Here's the Neeko in the Nocturne ultimate. The synergy is gigantic, and T1 are just falling apart. Faker's in the front line with Doran, but it's just desperation. They're getting cleaned up. They get a couple of kills, but it's a triple for Ruler. A nice little Yunara moment on top of the Chemtech Drake Soul.
And it was me thinking it was a little bit too late. They just swoop in and clean up the fight so decisively. Canyon's first to make it. The Blast Cone engage with Chovy to follow. Just decimate the Pantheon.
Where's Neeko? Oh.
Yeah, Neeko with a great engage and the root on a Peyz into the Ambessa. The split target selection from Gen.G is so good. Chovy and Canyon together, and then the rest of the team working in unison. And in the end, it's only the Nocturne who goes down, and Ruler there to clean up. Like, it's just the fact that they can just separate and split this focus so well. Yeah. So crisp, so good. And I know you're happy to see the Mega Cone, the Engage Cone.
That's how it was meant to be used, you know?
Using it for good, not for evil.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you're getting it.
Engaging with it.
You know, I just feel like that's what the creator originally intended. I feel like Gen.G just get it today.
But, you know, this is the composition. This is exactly what Gen.G want to do. They have so many engaged threats, and this was also always the concern for T1's comp. It's like, can you protect your AD carry? It's not just your AD carry. Your jungler got exploded too. You know, this layered engage, multiple members of Gen.G have engaged threats, and the execution. This is what we've missed from Gen.G. You know, they obviously lost to G2 and then seemed to be in a slump coming in week 1. This is the level of play that you know, we've come to expect from them.
Yeah.
And this is them feeling back in form. You know, locking in for the series against their age-old rivals. And now with a 6,000 gold lead, 3 dragons in pocket, it's starting to feel pretty dire. The kind of MO for T1 is you need to fight where things go wrong for Gen.G. There's a misexecution, not everything connects, and you're able to peel for your AD carry, because if these ults keep hitting, I just don't see a way in with this much of a deficit.
I feel like especially from ahead for Gen.G, like it's kind of difficult now to mess it up. You know, like, unless you engage outside of the paranoia. Like, this is the power of Neeko Nocturne, is that you can't really, as you were kind of alluding to, you can't really account for every single piece of engage. Like, the Nocturne's in your front line, but also Neeko gets access to the backline because you just can't see her. Like, she's just in the paranoia, in the darkness, and out of nowhere, she gets an ult on your AD carry, and Like, yeah, even if Faker gets the immediate ult after the paranoia's gone or he's in melee range, even then, maybe Peyz just dies because it's just too hard to deny the Neeko, and the Neeko's good even without Nocturne. It's just so reliable, and I think for a team like Gen.G, I just don't see them messing it up in this game, especially from ahead. Like, now you've got a fed Yunara. Like, you have the backup damage after the engage. And speaking of which, they're going to go straight for Peyz, and he gets over the wall. So that's why we picked the Zeri.
Gets away, and, you know, in this situation, it's fine. But if you're in a fight and that happens, you're out the fight. You know, you're chunked out, you're not able to contribute. And once you lose that, that Zeri damage, I think the comp's going to struggle. So T1, you know, dragon up in a minute. And again, it's not the highest priority dragon, but you're already in such a deficit, you're already struggling to make things happen. You give that extra power to Kiin, and
Go next, fast.
Yeah. I think there's some champions, you know, I mean, this was always my criticism of Chemtech Soul, is that, like, it just felt like a lot of the roster just doesn't do that much. But there's some champions that it is just insane on. You know, I mean, Aatrox was always a good example.
Yeah.
But considering Ambessa is so shield-based, and she gets this heal and shield power from those 2 dragons that she has in pocket, and, you know, she's so hard to cut through, so she does actually get value from the durability. She doesn't just get bursted. I think she's going to be immortal. I mean, is she already? Maybe, perhaps.
Kind of feels that way. I mean, especially with the
nice
early...
little Tibbers save.
Ooh.
You know, earlier in the game, there was a fight. I think it was like the first fight on the top side, where Fake was like dead, and he just, his last act was killing Tibbers for the 50 gold. And I like how there's this little cat and mouse now. Fake is like, give him that 50 gold. Chovy's like, no, no, no.
I mean, sure, he can have it at this point.
No.
This Canyon is... Okay, they're going to control the bush. And that's going to be key. Engage from Faker just gets flashed away by... Oh, the flanking! Ambessa straight into that backline. They're trying to peel for the Zeri, but Canyon is right on top of him. They take down the Lulu as the Pursuing Worlds does come in, but the ult from the Pantheon is late, and there's the Neeko. Fights the 2 of them, and that'll be the end of this fight. And maybe just the end of this game as Gen.G just absolutely stomped them at the Dragon.
I mean, Peyz even did nearly 6,000 damage, and it's just not enough there. You know, Faker tries to fish for that initial pick on a Chovy. Not able to get the taunt, and Kiin has this great flank. They have this brief pocket of vision for T1. They fly in, going for Peyz. Keria dies as a byproduct. But then when the engage comes through, Duro gets this beautiful counter, the double root as well, and the follow-up is immediate from the rest of Gen.G. The target selection from this team is just flawless.
That's Baron.
I think, you know, Soul in hand, Baron, a 12,000 gold lead. I think this game seems pretty on lock right now. Ruler even has a QSS in pocket. It's starting to get to luxury buys at this point.
Yeah. It's time to, you know, pick up that Magi's if you're Chovy or Duro, obviously.
You know, that's... I'm sorry, I love Duro. I think he's a great player, but, you know, you got those 3 kills early, didn't buy a Dark Seal. Yeah. I don't know, man.
That's kind of lame. Maybe that's why there's no justice for supports.
You take that back.
Well, Oner's like, I wish I could play the game. And I was really trying my best to summon a somewhat close game. And instead, we got an even more one-sided game.
Yeah.
It's 12,000 gold lead for Gen.G, 25 minutes into the game.
Only had 1 3-gamer
so far
in the LCK regular season.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
And it was Gen.G from behind against KT.
Maybe it's my fault. I really tried to summon it with this one. You know, I think I just cursed it.
You just griefed it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Not
specifically,
your first time.
I cursed it.
Oh.
And Chronicle's probably in chat saying, curses unreal.
He would say that, wouldn't he?
Sorry, Bozo, that's why you don't work here anymore.
Yeah. Rip.
Rip Bozo.
Got him.
Yeah. That's actually a requirement of working here. You have to acknowledge the existence of curses.
Yeah.
And be very careful about your usage. intentional not of cursing things, so I apologize on this day for potentially cursing the series. It is looking pretty doomed, but, you know, we'll see if T1 can pull off a miracle defense right now.
Yeah. You know, sometimes we try to curse it, and it just doesn't work. This time, they're just going to kill Faker, because at this point, they're just so far ahead, you just attack the front line.
I think Tibbers is tankier than... Yeah, Tibbers is tankier than Faker.
He is alive. Tibbers, that is. And,
look at him heal. Look how much health he's getting back.
Yeah,
that's OP.
That doesn't seem fair.
Look at him go. Does he have a Warmogs?
I think he must.
Oh my god.
Takes a little bit, and then he starts regenning out of control.
No, Chovy. He just let him die.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bad Chovy.
Just gave him 50 gold. Now they're only 14,600 gold ahead.
Well, Faker tries his best, but wallets do be wallets.
Yeah, he just got nuked. Yeah, and then Tibbers, he's just built different.
Yeah.
He is that guy. We have 2 minutes until Elder. Okay, here's the game plan for T1.
Okay, I'm listening.
Wait for Elder. Steal it. Win.
Yeah.
3-step plan.
So, no vision, you just send Pantheon.
Yes.
And Oner smites it away.
Correct.
So, there's only one plan, right? What if Gen.G are just like, we're not going to let you do that plan. We're not even going to start the Elder Dream.
You go into ult chat and say, by the way, Elder is up.
Yeah. That's a good idea, actually. I didn't think about that. That might work.
Yeah. Or you say dance party at Elder.
That always gets them.
Yeah.
They always fall for that.
How can they resist?
It's just too much fun.
Oh, big damage.
Yeah, Peyz is trying his best. He's trying to get in there. And Gen.G, actually, they say, we don't like this engage. We're not ready. And Duro's going to find the Aurora, and Doran is going to hit the floor, and that is going to be the end of this game. As Peyz, you know, he's got some good damage. He's clearing the wave. You know, they don't have Baron. Credit to him, but you're 16,000 gold behind. So
he's trying.
The game is over.
He's really trying. He's still got sums. He's going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Wheeler has to respect him, honestly. A little bit of stepping up there.
So who's your POM for this game? Series?
You mean for the series?
Yeah.
POM, not POG.
Yeah, not POG. Well, that was a nice Tibbers. That'll be the end of them, and that'll be the end of this game as Ruler gets a nice little shield bow shield, and they'll take out the turrets, and they will take down T1, and Gen.G looks like they're back in form.
So, my POM